What's up, guys? My name is the Medicine Sensei, and welcome back to a video. Well, in this video, this is my first video, so the first what if I'm gonna create is called "What if Asta had Ultra Instinct?" With this, a lot of things are gonna change, and I'll tell you what's gonna change. First things first. There's gonna Ultra Instinct does not need ki. Listen, I'm not trying to add ki and flipping. In the universe that only uses magic. So, maybe if Ultra Instinct was like a magic based thing, I would have probably said like it needs this, right? But ki is not magical or anything, so I'm saying ki no. So that's it. There's no ki in this universe, so do not think about that. The only way to get Ultra Instinct is by being worthy enough to have it, which means one of an angel would give you this power if you complete its test, which I'm gonna get that later in this episode. And the third thing is, still the only way to get it is by being worthy enough and meditating and practicing your mind. Or be emotionless just like an angel. That's all I'm gonna say right here now. And well, let's get started with the video. The first Wizard King found out this ability, and he used it for good purposes, never for bad purposes. Because angels do not give random powers to bad people. Well, with this here, a lot of people tried to obtain this power because this power gave him ultimate achievements. Him dodging in an instant, not even trying, boosting up his magical power. And, well, this was a very useful thing. But the one weakness is that it reduces your physical strength or your damage dealing. So if you deal if your regular punches like Saitama is, with Ultra Instinct, it reduces that. But if you have enough strength and courage to train, your punches would be very strong still in Ultra Instinct. The Wizard King was one of those people who kept on training. And while he mastered this ability, but he didn't tell people how to master it. So that was the only thing he told them was how to get it. Everyone tried to get it, but failed miserably. And now everyone thought that the Wizard King was lying just for fun. And so they said this technique cannot be used by anyone because no one can do it. But that's going to be a change. Asta, it's taller than Canon, of course. I'm just going to do that, okay? I'm not making him a midget, okay? He gets treated awfully. Since they found that he doesn't have magic, or he can't possess magic at his age yet. They treated him awfully, especially the kids who already obtained their magical powers. Everyone praised Yuno. Asta does not care. Asta is the guy who does not care what people think and only cares what he thinks. And only him. So, Asta is right now, when he is 5 years old, the age of training, he decides to train near a demon school. He decides to live in the demon school for a couple of months because it was better peaceful there. He can learn hunting, so if he's going to a different kingdom and they need hunting and camping, he will be ready for that. And so Asta is right now, just standing in his demon school, training, sleeping, eating, what regular people do in their houses. Asta meditates near a river because it's peaceful and easy for him to meditate. He meditates to keep his mind calm and him making smart decisions instead of being a knucklehead like Canon Asta. And when he's meditating, after 1 minute of his meditation, he was spawned in this light room with one person in the middle of it with a white robe. He also has a halo up in his head. Asta's first guess was he thought he was an angel or something and he died somehow. So he said, "Am I dead?" Angel did not reply. He decided to make it a little bit louder, saying, "Am I dead?" And the angel still doesn't answer. He says it's way much louder, saying, "Am I dead?" The angel still does not answer. That's the ghost him. Walking. It was a pretty far distance from him and the angel, but he still walked up there. Asta was a couple of inches away, and he went right in front of the angel and just poked him. But instead of him poked the angel dodged it, catching his hand. Asta's like, "What the heck?" He jumps back and sees and the angel just standing there. He decides to try to touch him again to see if something's happening, right? He touches him again, the same thing happens. Asta keeps on trying to touch him. The angel keeps on dodging, and then Asta jumped back. Angel said, "Touch me." Asta's saying, "You're dodging all my pokes and hits and touches. How am I gonna touch you?" The angel just says, "Touch me." Asta runs super fast and it was about to touch until the angel just dodges smoothly. And Asta touches him with his leg. The angel lets it be because he sees that Asta was worthy. In this what if you have master ultra instinct, you can't get touched no matter what, okay? So the angels have master ultra instinct, of course, but they could get hit. They can let someone hit them. The angel says, "You are worthy." Asta saying, "What do you mean I'm worthy?" The angel just says, "You are worthy." Asta saying, "What do you mean by worthy, sir?" The angel says, "You are worthy." And he disappears. Everything goes black. Asta opens his eyes and only sees black and white. Reason being is because Asta cannot handle this power. He doesn't even have magic. So with this power, it changes something around with his eyes with Ultra Instinct. Asta does not know he has Ultra Instinct. We as a viewer know that he has Ultra Instinct. With that being said, Asta feels absolutely nothingness. He doesn't think, he doesn't speak, he doesn't feel anything. He feels like he has no emotions inside of him. He doesn't feel sad, angry, mad, normal, completely nothingness. He's empty. He walks to the river and looks at the reflection. But really there wasn't really a reflection because it was black and white. But from the river he could see a black figure, which was him. And he saw a white aura coming off from him. he finally dinked one, saying, "What's this?" And then Ultra Instinct and his sight went perfectly. His Ultra Instinct got instantly, and his sight was not black and white anymore in just 1 millisecond. Asta was confused, saying, "What the hell? What happened?" With this being said, Asta does not master the Ultra Instinct or has Ultra Instinct. Oh man, it's like kind of like when Asta unlocked, it's the weakest form of Ultra Instinct, weaker than just regular Ultra Instinct. This was like, Fall Super Saiyan. Like I'm gonna it's kind of like that, but it only activated a couple seconds because this was his first time and he was unlocking this. So when Asta gets like Ultra Instinct and trains with his falls, like really weak Ultra Instinct, and trains it up to the regular Ultra Instinct, he's gonna see colors, okay? So it's not just permanently he can't see if he uses Ultra Instinct. Asta is surprised and tries to activate it again, but it doesn't activate. Asta remembers that he didn't feel anything. He felt absolutely nothingness. Asta tries to do that, feel absolutely nothing inside of his heart or thinking. He unlocks Ultra Instinct. He sees black and white again and everything, but he has no reaction. If he's in Ultra Instinct and he's not reacting to it because he knows if he's gonna fail. So Asta knows that he has this power, and so he decides to train with it, try to improve it a little bit, maybe fix the eyes, how he sees, because he only sees black and white right now. Asta trains for a couple of months with his Ultra Instinct. Because of him not getting into a serious fight with a human, but getting fights with animals, he's in Ultra Instinct because of him fighting a lot of animals in the wild. Because you still remember, he's living in the demon school for a couple months right now, because he said living because it was better than living in the church. Asta trained a lot and he got very matured. He was very mature. He's very calm. He's not the kind of guy who goes for it and thinks of a plan before he does anything. He's kind of like a calm, collective, smart, matured person. He was too mature for his age, especially. But what do you expect from a kid living in the wild learning about Ultra Instinct? Yeah. Asta is right now 13 years old. He does not have full mastery over. He only has Ultra Instinct. He doesn't have Ultra Instinct or Master Ultra Instinct. Reason being is because he never got into a fight that can cause him to his death. Reason being is because, he can't. He didn't fight a human that was to kill him, but he knew animals' weaknesses, so he was fine with animals, and he was never scared to the point that he had to use his willpower to push through. That never happened. So Asta is kind of 13, and he's in the age of getting a grimoire. He's like Asta right now is like 1 feet taller than when he got his grimoire, like 1 feet. Not too much, but he's tall. Asta walks to the church. He sees showing off his wind magic, and he just ignores it. By this point, Asta shows not a lot of emotions. It doesn't show happiness, sadness, or anger. he only acts normal. He doesn't act like he acts super calm. That's the only emotion he shows right now. But because he doesn't want to be the point where he always has ultra instinct on and people can see. He doesn't want that. He also trains himself in physical combat and him dodging more and being less reliable on ultra instinct and only use ultra instinct as a trump card. Asta goes to the Gilmore area. Sees Asta going to the school area, and he comes after he shows off a little bit of his wind magic before he says bye to Sister Lily and everyone in church. No one cared. Did not care what Asta was doing, so he just ignored him and went to there, right? Asta does not get a Gilmore. But Asta was not surprised. He knew he didn't have magic, and the magic that he used technically was not magic. So he wasn't like saying, "Nani?" No, he was kind of like, "Okay, I already knew this, so no biggie." And so, with that being said, still gets a 4-leaf clover and everything like that. Asta then congratulates but not in front of him, kind of on his mind, because he knows and doesn't like to talk to him, because he didn't have a grimoire with It was like "Saha loser" or something like that, but he didn't say it right in front of Asta's face. So was leaving, and then the chain magic user took his grimoire. Asta sees this and decides to fight this guy to bring back his grimoire to Well, the chain magic user uses his magic. Asta was not using Ultra Instinct, but he was dodging it swiftly and smoothly, with no effort whatsoever. The chain magic user is saying, "Just stand still, you idiot." And he keeps on trying to use his chains, but Asta keep on dodging. And then Asta decides to try to end this fast, runs super fast, hits him in the stomach, which makes him cough out saliva. And then Asta does a roundhouse kick to his face and picks him up, throws him up, jumps up, kicks him on the back, and down on the ground. The chain magic user is badly bruised, but not to the point where he has to go to the hospital. Not that kind of point. But he was pretty bruised up. Asta takes the grimoire and gives it to and he goes on his day. You guys are probably wondering, where's this? Is like flipping demons, like grimoire majiggy. I'm getting there. So Asta goes meditates again, but then a grimoire came in. But this was not regular grimoire 5-leaf clover. It wasn't completely messed up. Half of it was light, and the other half was dark. Reason being why I'm doing like this is because Asta has an angel power, and this grimoire has a devil inside. So it's gonna be half and half. With half and half, that means in the grimoire, there's no magical abilities, but it's training methods how to improve his ultra instinct and that stuff. So Asta sees this and takes it as an opportunity. He takes it, finds he was worthy, and he pulled out a sword, which was black and white. Handle being white and the sword being black. Asta feels a surge of power going through him. But this was not regular angel calm power. This was evil power. This was a devil power. Asta does not know that devils existed, really. But he should have expected it. He felt dark ominous power through this grimoire, but also felt light and calm power. So Asta sees that this is kind of like an emotion. If Asta feels angry to the point where he wants to kill someone, the demon, like the dark ominous power, is gonna probably control him. If he feels calm and collective to the point where he doesn't feel nothing, that's where his angel power / ultra instinct goes in. Asta thinks that if he can use both of them at the same time, that would be very dangerous. But Asta does not care. Asta tries to do it, but the devil power is not going in him. So it seems like he needs to have more experience with this. Asta does not know what his sword can do or whatever. And well, because he has no magic, he can't test out his anti-magic sword. He's gonna use it, but not with his bare fist. He'll use it as a weapon. But he'll find out later what his powers what that sword can do. So right now, Asta goes to the area where the Magic Knights were picking their teammates, picking the people to be in their squad. Magic Knights sent ominous presence from Asta, and this ominous feel was like they felt dark and like dark and very strong power, and then the other one very light, calm, strong power as well. They kept an eye on him. Reason being is because Asta's Grimoire releases magic. And hear me out. It's not like magic where he can use it. It's like to the point where people can feel it if they have a high sense of magma. Okay? So the birds all went to Asta and pecked him. All the Magic Knights were confused, saying, "Whoa, so what was that?" But that ominous power was from him, and that light power and ominous, right? They were confused, right? So they thought it was probably something that was not magic, probably from his aura, maybe not magic, but how he feels. But it didn't make sense, because why would they feel two things? Would that mean he has something inside of him? Is he like a reconstruction? Like, is he a reincarnation of someone? Like, they didn't answer their questions about those two ominous presents. But they decided it was just maybe they were just thinking, and maybe that just happened to their mind. They didn't talk out loud, of course, to them. They just talked in their minds. So Asta got all the birds pecked, and he doesn't care. He lets him peck them. And now there was the flying test. Asta could not fly, but he decides to fly just with no broom, and he flies without a broom. This was one of the powers from an angel from Ultra Instinct. I'm adding flying, okay? Because I don't want Asta to flip and fail. Alright? So Asta can fly, but not like using magic, but using his Ultra Instinct, but very little power let's go. So he has to be careful with his flying. And after that, Asta is... Now we're going to the fight. Yuno versus Noble. Yuno destroys him easily. Asta versus a strong Noble, okay? This is gonna be a made-up Noble background character, not important to the story at all, okay? Okay? So this royal, it has fire and ice. No, fire, just fire, magic. So he was very aggressive to his opponents. But he doesn't, so he decides to say that he'll only use one fire ability, which he called Fired Shield, which was like a shield to protect him. He knew that Asta did not have magic powers, so he was a little bit cocky, and also that he doesn't need to use any offensive moves against him. That was in his mind right now. Asta yawns and says, "Let's go." Asta pulls out the sword and sees what this can do. He decides to go super fast. Barely anyone saw him, and he cuts the fire shield. But mostly, a sword cannot cut through magic. But what they saw was him cleaning slice through the fire shield. He somehow cut magic. The Magic Knights were like, "What?" And then Asta appears behind like a teleport, but it was just from pure speed alone. He kicks the fire user forward, and he comes in right in front of him, kicks him in the chin, kicks him up in his chin. He spins around, about to hit the wall, until Asta comes in, kicks him in the back, and then seems like teleportation, but he's not teleporting. He teleports right in front of him, kicks him up. Asta appears right behind him. Asta appears right behind Royal and does a flip into a back heel kick on the Royal. The Royal is injured and he's bruised up badly, but he's not to the extent of getting killed or going to the hospital. Asta, everyone was amazed by that power, and he only used one sword in just hand-to-hand combat. So Asta was very good at close range, and the only way to fight against him is having. It seemed like he had no weaknesses, unless his magic only cut through the Royal, because the Royal did not have enough strong magic to counter that. So it seemed like Asta could break any defense, or seems like it, but we know that Asta can cut through any magic, so offense or anything. Asta finds out that the sword can cut through magic or deflect it. Probably can deflect it because of how big it was. Asta puts his sword back in his grimoire, and he sees a new word when he puts the sword back in his grimoire. He sees a word here, right? It says it was from his light side, and it says here it says the technique was called Omen Ultra Instinct. That goes. Asta was like, "What?" But he decides to check it there after he does this Magic Night, and does after training, right after he does the Magic Nights. Magic Knights pick getting all of their hands raised because of his control of magic. And well, so he got picked by all, and picked the Golden Dawn. And it was Asta's turn, and only 2 people picked him. It was Captain Yami, and it was I forgot his name, but he has that sharp like magic-y. He looks like kind of like a snake or something. Yeah, like that guy. I forgot his name. Asta picks the Black Bulls, and so that's where I'm gonna end off with. I'm gonna end this off right here with Asta picking the Black Bulls. I ended here, and so now, I'm gonna end it right here. I'm just repeating myself right now. I'm gonna end it right here. guys like this video. Thanks you for watching the whole video. And see you guys later. I might record another video tomorrow. Peace.